Good afternoon, good people. Hope you guys are well. I just recorded another video, so go watch that one and then come back to this one. But I've been thinking about this for a minute, and I just don't know if motherhood is for me. And I say that for a few reasons. For one, it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice, and I just don't know if I have that in me to sacrifice. But I remember I was on contract a few years ago, and I had a patient. I called their name back. I was like, Miss Whoever. She came. She came like to like the divider, because there was like a divider from the waiting room. And she was like, "Did you call?" And she said her name. I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I saw what call." She's like, "Okay." So she came and sat down, and she's like, "I know." She's like, "I know you don't have kids because you talk so low." And I just started laughing because I thought it was funny. And I was like, "Yeah, I don't have kids." I was like, "Maybe not for another 10 years." This is like 2 years ago. And she's like, "For real?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I don't want kids anytime soon. And she just went on. Patients love to tell their stories. But I didn't have anybody think after her, so I was like, it's cool. Just talk. So she basically went on to tell me how she met her husband, and I think he's a little older. She was like 19 or something like that. He's a few years older than her. And like, she always knew that she wanted kids. Like, that was always something that she knew she wanted. And it made me think, like, I've never had that feeling. Like, I want kids. I do want kids. But I don't feel like my life would be incomplete without them. But I know people, just like that lady that felt like, she said she felt like she was like born to be a wife and a mom. I don't feel like that. I feel like those are things that I can be, and I can be good at it, but I feel like those don't define me. I don't feel like if I don't become a wife and a mom, specifically a mom, my life is meaningless. I don't feel that way. I feel like I can live a life without having kids and still be fine. Like, literally live a fulfilling life. But I have friends that are like, listen, my whole purpose, my sole purpose on this earth is to have kids and be be a wife. And I don't feel that way. So I always think like, maybe motherhood is not for me because I don't have that feeling. Like, because I've heard that so many times where women are like, they knew they were meant to be a mom. Knew they were meant to have kids, and that's just their thing. That's always been their thing, and I just don't feel that way. Do I think I'll be a good mom if I have kids? Absolutely, because I've learned what I needed as a child, and I also learned that even though what I needed as a child, I know that that might not be what my kids need. So although I didn't get what I wanted or needed, I can't put that on my kids. When I have the kids, I have to say, okay, what do you need? Like, I have to learn my child. Just like we have to learn our partners, I feel like as parents, you have to learn your child, because they may not be like you. Or even if they are like you, maybe they need a different type of you. You know what I mean? Like a different part of you, or just how they communicate, how they receive love. Just because we give love a certain way doesn't mean that person receives love that way. And I think that's something as parents, specifically, you have to be cautious and careful about when you have kids. But, I've talked about this in therapy and stuff like that. And my therapist is like, you'll be a great mom. But ultimately, I don't know. The older I get, the more I'm getting away from the idea of having kids. Not because I feel like it's far-fetched. Because if I wanted to, I can go be in fornication right now and have a child. That ain't what I want. But I just don't. I feel like it's such a responsibility that, like, parenting, it never ends. It doesn't end when your child is 18. It doesn't end when they're 21. It doesn't end when they're 26. Like, it never ends. And I just don't know if I'm up for that. Like, that's a lot. You're responsible for this human being being a law-abiding citizen, hopefully. You're responsible for how they turn out in this world. You're responsible for what they do. If they do something crazy, it's going to come back on your parents. And if they don't do this, it's going to come back on you. Like, it's just things like that. And then just the whole thought of just being responsible for a whole nother human being. The thought of that just, like, it's mine. blowing to me, because it takes a lot. And I just think about how much women have to do in this parenting thing. Like, men they don't have the responsibilities that we have. For one, they don't have to carry this child. Okay, you got to carry that baby, and you got to make it through pregnancy and labor, God willing, right? And then you have to raise that child. Like, it's a bam, bam, bam. 10 months, 40 weeks, right? Hopefully you make it to 40 weeks. Okay, if not, you get induced early. Okay, now you got to go through labor. We don't know how that's going to turn out, because with the way healthcare is, right? We know. And then you make it through. Say you make it through labor. Thank the Lord for that. Now it's not a rest period where, okay, you had the baby, you made it through labor, now you can just kind of relax, let somebody take over. It's right into it. Like, women don't have rest. Like, mothers don't have rest. And I just feel like there's so many women, because I would never have a kid without being married. That's just what I believe. So if I would have a kid, it would be a marriage. It would be with my husband. But I just don't think it's fair. I don't think motherhood is fair. It's just not fair to me. Like, men get to do the bare minimum. And even if, like, I had a great husband, because I wouldn't have kids with a man that was trash. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't marry him either. But you just never know. People change, right? Especially when kids come, men change and things happen. It's just like, now I'm stuck with this whole child. That's why it's for me, like, if I was to have a child, it would be a marriage, of course, but it would have to be because I want that kid. Like, I'm willing, and I'm aware that if things go sour in this marriage and we break up, we divorce, I'm still going to make sure my child is good, because that's my child. You know what I mean? Like, it's 100% my responsibility. So yes, his DNA is in this child. Yes, half of mine, half of his, all them chromosomes, all them genes. But at the end of the day, we as women, we have so much more responsibility because we carry the child. That's why so many men can just make a baby and run off, because they don't have the responsibility that we have. And is it fair? No, it's not fair. No, it's not fair. But we do have deadbeat moms. I know a deadbeat mom. The guy, he raises their 3 kids and she's off doing whatever she does. So I know deadbeat moms, but I know way more deadbeat dads. And it's just sad. It's sad. So that's also another part of it. Just, what if my husband just wake up one day and just want to be a deadbeat? You know what I mean? Like, now that child is mine, like 100%. So that's why I know for a fact going into it, like, if I was to get pregnant, I know, like, listen, if something happened and we not together no more, I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. So I'm not gonna have a child if I feel like I can't financially support myself, if my husband want to take a stupid pill or we just don't work out. You know what I mean? Like, I would make sure that I'm good all the way before I just have a child, even though he's there, because we don't know what the future can hold. Even if he don't take a stupid pill and he's a good man, he could die. Life could happen. You know what I mean? There's so many things. So I feel like as women, we have to kind of be mindful of that. So it's like, even those that plan for kids and we plan with our husbands, there's so many things that can happen, like, that we just can't be prepared for. So I don't know. I don't know if, like, me not having that feeling of, like, if I don't become a mom, my life is, like, incomplete. If that makes me feel like maybe this is not for me. But I don't know, because I feel like there have been women that feel the same way that I do, that have had kids and have been phenomenal women. Mothers. So I don't know. But I can tell you right now, I ain't in no rush. You will not see me popping out no kids anytime soon. Anytime soon. Even if I get married next month, which ain't happening. But if I do, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. I'm in no rush. I think kids are a blessing, and I think that they are a gift from God. But I think as parents, you have to do more to prepare. And if I do have kids, I know that I'm gonna have to change some things. And that's why I'm in therapy now. So anyways, let me know if you guys have felt like I feel like you're kind of like, you want kids, but if you don't have them, it's literally, you'll be all right. Let me know. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Or if you feel you're on the opposite side where you're like, if I don't have kids, I don't feel complete. Let me know. As always, y'all, stay grateful, stay faithful, stay consistent. We are going to talk another time.